in the latest episode, we're all together. The band's back together. It's all coming next. It's episode, I don't even know, it's episode 6 of Let's Stick Together, brought to you by Y1 Hockey. We're all in a room together. It's quite exciting. Brendan seems on good form. Youp's very confident in himself, which is unlike him. Happy to be doing this podcast again with both of you. Youp, did you miss us last week?
Miss is a big word. I missed you guys a bit. I missed having the three of us. I know that the dynamic is different when Brendan's not there. There's no one to really poke fun at. I even listened, but I gotta be honest, I turned off halfway there. I just missed having myself there as well.
That almost started as a compliment to me, and then quickly turned to an insult, and then insulted both of us. So
no,
it's good to have you back.
I actually listened. I thought it was a pretty good episode. Like all things considering, I thought it was a good episode.
Did you notice, Youp, how I made sure that I asked Brendan 32,000 questions to make sure that he had to tell me stuff?
Yeah, I noticed. I also, because now you're poking fun at me for maybe not listening to the entire episode. Side note, I did listen to the entire episode. But Brendan, you didn't listen to our episode?
Nope, I never listened back.
No, I feel like I'm not want to start shit with you from the get go, but your one, like, no, not your one, but your biggest contributor to this is that you're always up to speed on things. You're always up to date, and you're like very keen.
We're going to talk a few things. I've got some stuff from the first weekend of Pro League that's just been that Youp took part of. I wanted to touch on Hockey 1. We're going to answer some questions from Instagram, and then we're going to go into the coop. First of all, you played this weekend. You played against, let's start with you. We normally do Hoofdklasse, but we'll do international. Why not? You played against Germany and then Belgium. How was your first weekend? Was it good being back in the Dutch shirt, back on home soil?
Yeah, it was good. Tough two games, to be honest. Like level was first game against Germany was actually quite okay, like not great but okay. Second game against Belgium was I want to say dog shit, but it was a bit better than that. Like, it was shit. We played shit. It was cool to play in front of the home crowd again because it was pretty packed. We had shootouts twice. I think first game against Germany, we deserved a bit more. Second game against Belgium, they deserved a bit more. So in the end, I think 4 points from 6 possible was like decent. We're top of the Pro League table after 2 games, so that's always good. No, it was fine. Like a lot of new guys, it's feeling like it's a bit weird to like start off a new campaign already. I know it feels like it's already, even though it's been 3 months or like more than 3, almost 4. So like you got to start sometime, but it still feels a bit odd. It's been a really, really long year, 2024. So it feels like a bit of a, yeah.
I know what you mean. You're already going again, and I felt like that when I watched the first games, and then you think like, oh, it's the start. This is the start of the next 4 years. This is the start of people going. And I watched both games, kind of agree with your general sentiments. Like you always expect that though, when there's loads of new caps coming in or like new players getting tested, is that the level's not going to be anywhere where it was 4 months ago. But still kind of interesting to see who played well, who did well. I've got to do it, Brendan. I know this is hard, but I watched both games. You are playing like a top 5 guy in the world, and it kills me. Yeah, it's tough to say, but like,
Fools me.
if anyone's watched you play at the moment, it's glorious. And I don't want to hand these. I definitely don't hand these compliments out. But I thought you were fantastic both games. I just wanted to kind of actually touch on that. Do you feel like you're in your prime? Is it? It looks like it's just super easy for you. The game's coming at you in slow mo. You're picking the right passes. You've got your pace up to in the high 80s, low 90s. I'll try not to make it a joke. It's a joy to watch, mate.
Well, first of all, thank you, Philip. I do disagree with you on the second game because I felt like I played like dog shit. To be honest, I missed like you never throw aerials, Phil, but Brandon, you probably if somewhere in your career have had this where you feel like you're not confident in like a high ball is kind of it's become like a big thing in my game, as in I don't throw it far, but I throw it pretty accurate. I couldn't throw a high ball the second game, as in it just slipped off my stick twice, and then I got to the point where I was like, "Oh, should I throw this one?" And then when you want to throw it, the moment is kind of gone to throw it. You've been.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah, I was like, it was a bit cold and my hands were a bit cold, but there's no excuse because I was like, I'm okay. And then I missed one high ball in the first half. Then second half, I think it was like with 3 minutes to play, and I was really lucky because the guy hit it on the crossbar, but I just threw an aerial. It didn't come off my stick. 3 against 2. Guy hits it with his backhand on the crossbar. Otherwise, we would have lost the game against Belgium. First game against Germany, I played pretty well. Second game I was against Belgium. Like I really love you for giving me a compliment, the shit, Philip, but I was pretty shit. So I went from getting close to top 5 in the first game. I think I dropped all the way to 277th in the second. So on average, I'm still like top 50.
Brendan, did you watch the games?
I only managed to watch the England games because I don't know how I can watch it over in America. There's no marketing whatsoever about where you can watch it. So I've only seen the highlights.
We're in a sticky situation as well because they've pulled the plug. It was very exciting news on one side because, just to go off piste very quickly, is that the GB Hockey have started a relationship with Channel 4 in the UK, and so they're going to stream the GB in England men's and women's games, which is really good. It's all for free on YouTube or on Channel 4, which is amazing. But it means that we've lost it on BT Sport or TNT, which means that I agree, Brendan, I don't know where to watch the games. So as normal.
How did you watch Youps games?
I VPN'd it.
On what though? As in through the Watch Hockey?
It was on Watch Hockey. It was on Watch Hockey.
Yeah. There is unsurprisingly, and don't get me wrong, FIH is clearly there's some good things going on. There is such lack of marketing that I don't have a clue where I can watch it. There's no adverts, there's no anything telling you where you can watch the best hockey there is around at the moment. And I think that's a bit of a misplay from
download the app hockey.nl, and I think there's a complete schedule from the FIH Pro League on there.
It's not the schedule, it's where can you watch it?
Watch Hockey.
Thank you. Do you work for FIH now? Is this part of your bidding to be top 5 player in the world? You now work for them because the marketing is. Come on, let's not be around the bush. It's not great.
Yeah, let's get back to the point though. I guess the things that I wanted to know, you was who shone in them games for you. Who do you think is going to be a one to watch for the next 4 years? And maybe from the Germany and Belgium teams as well. New caps, new people.
Yeah, I think quite a lot sprung out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Quite a lot, actually. I think one guy at our squad that did really well was Lucas Veen. Young guy. His father actually was a captain of the national team, won Olympic gold, scored the winning stroke, I think, in some final. I don't know. But a big Holland guy. So it was pretty cool to see him score the final, the game-winning shootout against Belgium, and he played really well. So he did really well. I still think guys like Floris Middendorp, who is already on the scene already, but is still quite young, is starting to really pick up and get better and better. Again, he's already really good. Went to one Olympic gold, one European gold. So he's not a new guy, far from it, but. really come onto the scene. And a guy in Holland is Luc Dommershuizen, who's played really good at Amsterdam, center back with the really blonde, almost white hair. Really skillful. Is like a modern age center back. Can pass, can defend pretty well. Has a decent high ball. Can dribble, can eliminate. So I think he's gonna be really good. And in Belgium, I'm not gonna name like the obvious ones as in Van Dessel and Stokbroeks. I think they're already made their mark in international hockey to call them like the next up, because I think they're already there, if that makes sense. They're already like on the top end of Belgium, I think. But there was this guy at Germany. His name is
Struthoff.
Yeah, the curly guy, really fucking skillful. Did really well. Scored a shootout in like a pretty cool fashion, and like was really threatening on the ball. And
I loved his shootout. Was insane. Loved it.
Like the left, right. Like the bit of a. It reminded me a bit of the Dixon one, the famous one. That he dribble. Also, I want to like say something about shootouts, but I'll do it after. There were a couple more like young guys, but I gotta be honest, and it's like it will sound really arrogant, but I don't mean it like that. But it's a new cycle. Some guys I've never seen. They were like new to me, so I don't know their names. So there was like a German central midfielder. I think he was number 42. He was really good. Like eliminated, was really good on the ball, played a really good game. It was like he reminded me of like Hannes Müller, but Hannes Müller was also really, really good. So there were a lot of like new up and coming guys. But yeah, they all come from like young Belgium or young Germany. So I didn't really know their names yet, but I'm sure it will change within months, and everyone will know them.
It feels like so far the teams are using the Pro League for the right reasons. In the fact that there's like yourselves, you've been established, but you've still got a lot of younger guys with the other nations that are it's the rebuild phase, isn't it? And it looks 100%. Like everybody's using the Pro League games for the right reasons and actually using it as a rebuild phase. It's just an appreciation that, as you say, it's also started so quick afterwards that people who need a break, like if for the women, for example, like Zandervaart, the score, like people like that who want a break have to miss international games. So that's like the trade-off is actually just having 6 months, 9 months off. For us, obviously, like ropes, aims, etc. Like it's the same thing. Like, but what I do quite like is the fact that teams are committing to playing the youngsters. It's just a shame that it potentially should have happened 12 months, 24 months earlier for some teams.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit lopsided in that, and I think like now it's Germany, Holland, and Belgium, and I think 2 finalists. And to be honest, I think Belgium should have been at least a top 4 team. 4. Yeah, played a really good tournament. Just played one really shit quarterfinal, and they kind of did like guys like Stokbroeks, Van Dessel, Onana, pretty young guys who entered the scene already made their mark. Like I think everyone is like Van Dessel, for instance, is now kind of a household name. Same as Stevie Stokbroeks. Those are household names now in international hockey, even though they're still really young. But I agree. No, I think it's like funny to see how like experienced players leave and how kind of effortlessly some young players just step in. And I feel like that was really, really cool to see. So yeah, no, it was good. But one thing before I forget about the shootouts, I feel like they're starting to get less and less long, if that makes sense. Like I feel like the second you start running from the 23, you only have 6 seconds left. It goes so quickly when you look back at it.
Yeah, I think there might have been a problem with the timer in Amsterdam, because I think there was a delay between the time starting and the referee blowing the whistle, because there was definitely one guy who started and it was already down to 6 seconds before it even got to the dotted mark. So again, I think that's not that 80 seconds is shorter, but I think that might just be that they messed it up.
I watched the China-Belgium shootouts and the women out in Changzhou, and that literally took ages. That was almost like 10 seconds, or it felt like it did in comparison. So I wonder if it's like, as Rope says, it's just a timer thing rather than the actual time.
Yeah. I think going back to it,
did David Ames give commentary?
He did do commentary.
Has he stopped now as an international player?
I don't know. Still yet to be decided.
Just side gigging.
Just side gigging. He's always side. He's got a lot. He's side hustling.
He's got schemes, mate. He's got schemes coming out of his ears.
He's just testing the water.
I think they actually wanted Giselle to do some commentary, and then because he lives with Giselle, they were just like, "Oh, do you fancy it?" And he was like, "Yeah, all right." Not to do him a disservice, but I think that's what happened.
You've literally just done him a disservice.
Yeah, he won't mind. He doesn't listen.
I also think they were weren't they a bit like worried that no one was gonna understand him?
He spoke quick.
I think he did a decent job of slowing himself down and going less Irish, Northern Irish. He did a good job.
Good correction.
Yeah. Also, just to touch on the women's games, we've watched some, and like we said last week, England women are playing a round robin with Belgium and China. England, I think, had 10 or 11 new debutantes in the last two in over the weekend, and I really, really enjoyed watching them. They lost 2-1 to China in the first game, and then they won 3-1 against Belgium in the second game to start their Pro League campaign. They've got such a young but seemingly hungry team. Yes, we talked about the disappointment over the summer, but it really seems like, just to take an early take from the Pro League, is that it was a breath of fresh air watching them play some nice hockey. Show some exciting players, looked hungry to go forward, looked not scared at all. So really enjoyed that. Brendan, did you watch that game?
Yeah, I did, and I couldn't agree more. They must be listening to our podcast, because we suggested putting Sophie Hamilton down the middle, and they literally did it straight off and put a captain. So I think there's it's a breath of fresh air. I think just watching a team play with no fear, no worries, and kind of just go after teams. I think it's been it was just really enjoyable to watch, and it's nice to see the rewards, even though it's very early doors. It's pretty promising from a point of view of the future, which I think is really good. I would say I thought both goalkeepers have done great so far as well. Both youngsters, like Mila on debut today, I thought she actually did a great job against Belgium. So from that point of view, I also think it's just a real positive for what's potentially to come. But as I say, it's very early doors.
Yeah, and just to quickly touch on, I wanted to turn this into who have you actually most enjoyed to watch from both the men's and the women's this year from 2024? So we're talking about watching teams. Who have you found the most exciting to watch? Who if you're seeing them playing in the Pro League or whatever it's been, have you been like, oh, I'm going to stick that on now?
I'll go for one that's pretty rogue, unsurprisingly from me. There's one team that I think every single time we've watched, there is absolute carnage on the pitch, both for and against them, and that is Pakistan men. I remember watching them at the OQ qualifiers out in Oman, and it was absolute carnage. There was goals, there was people sprinting around, there was skills galore. There's no wonder that so many players from that team have been picked up from for different leagues at the moment and things like that. I think it looks like it's on the up again, which is nice to see from that side of things. I think a few of us have said before, there's one place we'd love to have played an international game in. It would have been Pakistan, and I think they're back on the up, and things are looking quite positive.
I can say with confidence that I've never said that, Brendan.
No, I didn't say.
I've never heard anyone say that.
Lads, no, it's not all about you two. There's other people out there. Disgrace, you two. You are so arrogant, you two, to think that everything's about you two. Shambles. Look at you both giggling away like little schoolgirls.
Just wanted to weigh in.
Shambles. Yeah, Pakistan for me. The other one was Spain, actually. Spain men, I think they were really exciting over the past 2 years as well. I think Max is doing a pretty good job over there from point of view of they look like they've got a bit of an identity again, and they look like they're on the up. They've been pretty good to watch.
What about Brendan, just before you goes, who's been the worst to watch?
The worst to watch? Do you know what? I'm going to put it out there. I don't think New Zealand have been great to watch from what they have been previously. I think they've lacked, from a personal point of view, I think they've lacked a little bit of an identity. And they've been carried by players like Nick Woods, Sam Lane. I don't necessarily think they've done well to get to where they've got to, but I don't necessarily think they've deserved it based on how they've played. They've just had individuals that have got them out of sticky situations.
Fair enough. What do you think?
To be honest, I think, and you're going to also be surprised by my pick, it's India.
I put them down.
just on the sheer fact that I think Hadik was amazing this year. With his high ball, and I'm sorry to bring it up again, but the quarterfinal against you guys, it was one of the best individual performances I've seen by a player in a while. Like, it was insane. I'm really sorry, Philip. I don't mean it like that, but you asked me this question. I'm really sorry, but he was really, really good that game. But I think India is always fun to watch because it's like organized chaos with them. They can get a red card. They had the incident with Spain where Amit just hit a ball with 2 seconds to play on knee height through a Spanish player. Like, anything can happen with those guys. So I feel like it's a really fun team to watch with a lot of individual quality. And like, when you play against them, you're always kind of scared to end up in a highlight reel, if that makes sense, if you're a defender, because every striker of them is so fucking skillful. So yeah, I've enjoyed watching them the most. Spain was also on my list because I think they're really on the up. And the worst to watch, like, I think they're one of the best teams right now, but I feel like I never really liked Germany. As in, they have so many skillful players, but they play 9 out of 10 times, they play this deep zone, this small zone, with like stupid development in hockey is the low zone. It's terrible for hockey. It's only high balls then and smacking balls into the circle. There's no space to really eliminate anymore. And they're really good at keeping the ball for like 60 minutes. So yeah, it's not they don't play just like the run and gun game or like England and Holland do. They're just slow down, play again, deep zone, low zone, whatever. And
yeah, I always find it a bit concerning when we just match up completely, because my 2 worst ones were, even though they're the best 2 teams, was Germany and Belgium, because I think they're so calculated in what they do that it just turns into a game of like tactical, how can we break you down? We've still got some of the world's best players, but it is showcased a little bit, but probably not in the way that I enjoy watching hockey. Like, I can appreciate it, but it's never like, oh God, I've got to put the TV on and watch Germany play. I want to watch it maybe to watch Velen do something amazing, but not to see them go into a low block and keep the ball and wear a team out. Whereas, like you already said, I think if Holland were playing, if India were playing, if Australia were playing, I was like, okay, I think I'd put the TV on for them. You want to watch them because it is more chaotic, it is more run and gun. And this isn't saying that there's a problem. It's just I thought it was a fun question to ask who's the best teams to watch and who's the worst.
I think India are phenomenal to watch. Like, I know you said about Hardik and like people, but for me, the lad up front for them called Sukji, I think is massively underrated in terms of that skill level. Like, I think he's actually pretty ridiculous.
Abhishek.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's so many players that you pick out and you're like, actually, they've scored some pretty unreal goals. But also I think Craig Fulton's done a pretty unbelievable job to actually make them difficult to break down as well. So from that point of view, I think they've kind of started to get an all-round package that previously they haven't had.
Yeah, and I forgot one. China men. Oh God, they are absolute carnage, and in a great way. They've got a guy at the back who wears 2 gloves and slides the ball at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Anytime he gets it, it's got to go over 60 yards. It just can't go. They've got 3 forwards who don't run back. They've got 4 subs that they don't use. It was like a highlight
games I've ever played in.
doing our research for that Olympic qualifier game was actually fun for the first time ever. Being like, what in the earth is this? This is incredible. They play hockey like no one else. Right, we're going to have to jump to a break. We'll be back in a sec. And we're back. And just wanted to, before we move to questions from Insta and maybe some Coop, wanted to touch on the Hockey One League. Have you both watched or been following any of the Hockey One League?
Kind of following, not watched, but I follow Orchard, who maybe, I don't know if he listens. He should come on our pod, or we should come on his. I think he's our only competitor as like a good hockey podcast right now. So Simon Orchard, if you're not a bitch, come on this podcast. No, I've chatted to him. I think he will come join our podcast once. But because of him, I started like kind of following it, and I'm also quite ambitious to one day play there. As in, what seems like a really cool setup, cool country to play in. They kind of like up their game a bit, so I feel like it would be a cool place to play one day. But yeah, I think the team that won last year with the orange jersey, they got third, I think, this year.
Yeah, the Brisbane Blaze. You're just taking all this stuff from me. Let's just bring Brendan in.
Well, yeah, you do your shit first, Philip. Go on.
Oh, it's nice to have him back, isn't it? And just sit back let him.
This is what happens when Phil plans stuff. Yoop comes in and wings it, and then just decides to take over. This is exactly what the fans need to hear and see.
Brendan, have you watched any Hockey One or followed it, or are you just is that time difference too big for you?
I have very much followed it. I know you're going to touch on this, Phil, but What Now Tim, or What Next Tim, his Instagram is the reason that I follow it. It's so good, and it's something that we miss, I think, in the UK, and I think it's something that's missed in the Dutch league now, is that high quality social media. But I'll let you talk about it.
Well, no, you've already touched on it nicely. There's a Instagram account called What Now Tim. He's not paying us. We're just both fans. If you go on it, he's done some incredible like HD slow-mos of players, saves or just highlight reels throughout the tournament. And he's got some real traction because the content's amazing. Does really great things. As Youp's already said, I think they've started to create a product which makes people interested. Even us from the other side of the world, we heard about this thing called Hockey One a couple of years ago, and then suddenly it's something that I've become engaged with, trying to follow a bit about what's happening. There's 6, I think, state teams from all around Australia play each other for 5 or 6 weeks. And yeah, it's just finished, and I watched the Perth Thundersticks win the women's competition, beating the Tassie Tigers, and HC Melbourne won the men's, beating the Canberra Chill in the grand final. Yeah, I just thought it was worth touching on because it seems like they're doing something right out there. They've got stadiums, they've got it's a franchise thing. They're doing a great job from what I can see. Also, shout out to Y1 legend Peter Scott for featuring in most of the What Now Team Instagrams, for looking like he's turned a Neuer, and also winning the whole tournament with HC Melbourne. Yeah, I do think Perth Thundersticks women got a bit of a cheat code because Ava De Hood was playing for them this year, and apparently they went completely unbeaten all year and won the whole thing quite easily.
Do you have a problem with the pronunciation or something?
Mate, Eva De Hood. Like, I get that some things are difficult for you guys there over your stupid island, but Eva De Hood, it's Eva De Goede. Come on, she's 3 times and 2 times World Player of the Year, Philip. Come on.
Sorry, Job.
You have
Sorry,
a stupid language. You have a really stupid language. Who uses in a language?
You're the only fucking country in the world that uses yards. Don't start this thing.
You got a point.
Yeah, I've got a problem with you guys.
You guys, now just because you're American, Brendan.
You guys still don't think you're a part of Europe.
Job's giving it full beans.
Yeah, I mean, we are available. I think we should make that clear. Maybe no, Brendan's not. Brendan's retired. Me and Yoop are available. I mean, I'll just piggyback on the back of Youp's success now. If you want us as a pair for next year's Hockey Australia 1 League, you get in touch with me first. Don't go direct to him. It's me first. I will decide our price. Okay. Have we got any? Have we got any closing remarks on the Hockey One? Apart from the fact that yes, Simon Orchard is doing a great job. The Shootout is his podcast, which I've listened to as well. Got some ideas. They're doing a great job over there.
I think it's a cool product. I think you guys have said it. They're doing so much right at the moment, and I think there's probably a lot that others could learn off it. But yeah, they're doing a great job.
Yeah, well done to you. You're also legends.
Right, okay. We're going to do some questions for Insta. Brendan's completely given up on the Instagram, so I took it upon myself to put a post.
Again, Brendan, the thing you bring to this podcast, the things you bring are you're good with social media and you're up to speed. Right now you're not up to speed and you don't deliver on social media. Step the fuck up, Brendan. Come on. It's 2 strikes. You're 3 strikes, and we're bringing in David Ames again.
No, we're not. But no,
we're not.
I
We're
think
not.
we can do better.
We're not, but he has to feel some consequences to his behavior, Philip. This is like telling your kid you can't have a cookie and your father's in the corner. You can have a cookie, son. Come on, Brendan.
Also, if we're jumping on the piggy bank, Tom Hudson, who's a long time friend of the podcast, he's doing us he's going to feed back some information he's out in China working, and he's gone to the games. He's going to feed us back some stuff. He's also very unhappy with you, Brendan. He's a good friend of Brendan. He says reply to him or the friendship's over. So
I've been replying to him. It's all good.
As an official warning.
Oh God, tough crowd. You're not wrong.
Anyway,
you're not wrong.
Threatening the friendship is over is really in Brendan's defense. That's like really.
Yes.
I did that on behalf of Tom as well, so we'll see how that went. Right, we put some stuff out on Instagram. I'm going to ask the more fun, light-hearted stuff, or maybe the stuff that isn't going to take too long to cover. But yeah, we'll just you feel to jump in and see what you think. First question: how much practice did you do on your own growing up as to be as good as you are? I assume that was based on put to all 3 of us. So when we were playing hockey growing up, how much did you do on your own? Yoop?
A lot.
There you go. That's
cool.
Youp's answer.
Brendan?
Yeah, but to be honest, I'm sorry, I don't know who asked the question, but like, do you want like hours? Like, what do you want? Like, of course we train a lot.
No, that's enough for you, mate. That's enough. A lot.
Okay, fair. Cheerio.
I'm with Yoop as well. I'm going with a lot.
Yeah, it's probably practice makes perfect. We all probably, I spent a lot of time doing extra work outside of training to try and get to where we want to get to. But we don't want to put people off and abuse their questions, only if it's really stupid. So thank you, Molly. Brendan.
Well done, Molly. Great question.
Brendan, since becoming a coach, has your perception changed on any previous coaches? That's actually quite a good question from Norab. We'll call him Norab.
I'm saying Molly's question wasn't good, Phil.
It sounds like that, but I didn't mean that, Molly. Keep listening.
Molly, I think it was a good question. Phil, on the other hand, is really poking fun at you.
Not putting words in my mouth. Brendan.
Not really. I think I've just probably now appreciate what I do differently. But that doesn't necessarily mean a coach is good or bad. It's just my perception of if I liked it or not. Do you know what I mean? So it's like...
No, I don't know what you mean. Can you please be a bit more specific, elaborate, and explain? No one knows what you mean right now.
If a coach does something a certain way, I've now probably looking back will be like I either liked it or I didn't, and that impacts how I then coach. If that makes sense.
No, again, it doesn't make sense. Can you please come to the point?
And let's say, for example, basically, lo and behold, I think I was already probably making my mind up as a player as to how I would coach if I was to coach. So I wouldn't necessarily say now I'm a coach looking back. I probably look at it differently. I think I was doing that as a player anyway. No,
it's saying as have you get any more have you had any more empathy for any previous coaches? Have you?
Oh yeah, hugely.
Can you put yourself in? Can you put yourself in their shoes and say, okay, I feel like better or worse about how I was treated in this situation or this situation? Does it, because you're now in a place where you're actively thinking about players in a completely different way than you were 6 months ago? I think that's his question.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think because you now see how many different perspectives you're dealing with, to try and get a point across, it has to be so succinct. Otherwise, you're having to explain yourself in about 15 or 16 different ways. So I think I've got a lot more empathy. And I definitely have a lot more understanding as to why coaches' meetings take so long sometimes to prep stuff, or like to even just a session design, because you've got to try and attack everything from all aspects, which I think is like, looking back, had a real lack of appreciation for how detailed and difficult coaching at a high level is. I think it's obviously easier at a lower level, but the higher up you see it done, the detail that comes in is pretty unbelievable. So I think from that point of view, yeah, I have a massive appreciation for how hard it is.
See, it took a while, but in the end we got there. Well done, Brendan. Great answer.
Do you want to know why that was, Yoop? Because Phil explained it, and Yoop, you offered nothing but, no, do it better.
I think we both did well there.
Yeah, that's why I would be a good coach as well. Shut the fuck up and do better.
Hey, that's good advice. I like that advice. Be better. It's good advice.
Phil's advice to me for years.
Matthew House, our strength and conditioning trainer, always says, "Don't be sorry, be better." Okay.
We're looking for. We've also got inspirational quotes for you today. So there you go. This episode's got it all. People are asking about indoor hockey, so I'm going to skip them for now because it's not that exciting.
I hear you're playing.
No one cares.
I hear you're playing this year, Phil.
No, I'm training some indoor hockey.
Classic. I'm not going to get picked.
Probably not. Going to struggle. P Marshall 5 asked your best 11 player for player with teams or clubs played with. Now that's going to take ages, so I'm just going to ask for who you haven't said yet on the podcast. Who's a player you've really enjoyed playing with?
I can go really quickly to through my 11 though.
Oh, grow up, Yoop. We're not playing that game.
Go on. No. We'll put him to the test. Go on, Yoop.
Oh no, I don't want to hear it. It's going to be some Dutch bloke, and then Rashid out of nowhere. That's what it's going to be.
That's kind of true, to be honest. Like I would go with Black in goal, Rashid on left back. That's all you need to know. I think for sure Rashid is in there. Benjamin Stanzel is in there. And as a striker, Rob Brekkers is in there.
You've said Rob Brekkers before.
Yeah, you have. Fine.
Then I'll go with... Have we spoken about Thierry Brinkman on this podcast?
Yeah, Brendan, go on. You've done a few. Give us.
I'll go with just one. Luke Taylor. He's an absolute dream to play next to. Fullback flicker.
Did not expect that.
He's a dream to play with.
Incredibly rash.
Keep it in your pants, Brendan. Come on.
Well, Phil, who you got?
Stephen Ebbers from Wimbledon. He's also a Dutchie. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Who's his name?
Yeah.
Stephen Ebbers.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, he played for Amsterdam back in the day. He's a good guy.
Good player.
Okay. Next question. What are your December holiday plans?
My December holiday plans.
Oh, here we go.
None of your business. That's for me and my people around me to know, and not for you guys. No, I'm probably going on a little holiday because it's been a lot of hockey, and I'm probably going to Spain with Pleun to the sun and getting my tan on.
Never use that phrase ever again.
Yeah, even some winter sun in Spain, and Yoop's getting burnt, so he needs to get under them brollies, doesn't he?
Oh, the ginger joke! It's back, you curly fuck. What about you, Brendan?
Christmas is going to be in America, so this will be my first Christmas. Yeah, with Maddie's parents and Maddie.
I'm too excited about it.
I'm well excited.
Christmas in America, first Christmas, Maddie.
I'm well excited. It's going to be sick.
It sounds like it. You feel it?
Well, I'm just going back up north to see my family. I did go to Marrakesh a couple of weeks ago, which was glorious. But apart from that, I can't do more.
When did you go to Marrakesh?
I went to Marrakesh a few weeks ago. It was glorious.
Well, you just said exactly the same phrase again.
Yeah, sorry. It was really good. It was fantastic. I learned a lot. I was amid the culture.
What did you learn, Philip? Don't
what
start bullshitting us.
Did you hackle?
You learned absolutely fuck all. You just had a good time. Come on.
No, I learned how to ride a camel. That's fair enough. I learned how to pour Moroccan tea.
Oh, that's
You have
quite
to
cool.
go from the bottom all the way to the top. And the spout, the paw gets longer. I learned what tagine is.
Yeah, it's the thing you cook in, right? No? The
Don't think
thing,
so.
the kind of pyramid thing?
It is, but it's more what's in it. It's a tagine is what's in it.
Okay, let's have this
Is
conversation.
it not? Nick's shouting. I don't think it is. Well, I think we're all wrong. So I'm going to come back to you.
I feel like both of you need to go to Marrakesh.
Oh, damn it. I think Nick's told me that I think Youp's right. Damn it.
Of course I am. Next question.
Next question. Rory Johnson asks, is Hockey Island becoming more of a threat to England?
No,
There's only
next
one right
question.
answer to this, yeah, thank you, Brennan. Okay. The next question is from Alistair, who's just, I don't think it's a question. It says, more upcoming GB talents coming through. Some of the EDP boys stepping up. That's not a question, is it?
Great question. Well done to you, Alistair.
There is some EDP boys stepping up.
What's
Yes.
EDP?
Elite Development Program. It's like the program below our program.
Can I ask why they call it elite if it's below your program?
It's such a great question.
Well, it's not a great question because it's still elite players trying to get into the centralized program.
Yeah, it's elite, but it's like not really.
You're not quite elite enough yet.
How can you be elite if you're not part of the elite? That's called mediocre.
Yeah, but you are.
The MDP. The MDP.
Okay, right. There's 3 questions in one from this person. Has umpiring got better this season?
No, next one.
Right. Who has the best kit at the moment? It's a good question.
You guys gotta agree. The away kit from us has gotten pretty good this year. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's gotten pretty good. The white with light blue,
Yeah, it's
it's
cool.
gotten pretty good.
Our away OG strip is also really nice right now. Sorry to bring that up, but it is really nice.
It's really nice. It's annoyingly nice.
Which color is it?
It's a bit Argentinian.
White
like
and blue
white and
stripes.
blue.
It's
Is
nice.
that your home kit?
Don't know.
No,
It's
so-
just they just introduced a 3rd kit.
Oh,
I think you've got 4 kits in total, haven't you?
Yeah,
so okay. That's for us.
but
You
also Mannheim's kit. I really like their pink kit.
Yeah, the
That's
pink
cool.
one's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, and who at the moment has got the worst changing rooms?
Oh,
Klein
do you know what? Do you know what's one of the worst? Wimbledon, not obviously the clubhouse, but the ones in the little hut by the pitch. That's shite. That's a waste of time.
Okay,
just crap.
comprehensively answered.
Yeah, well, you're practically climbing into someone else's boxes. There's not enough room to change in there.
Cardiff change rooms. We had to walk about 20 minutes through a maze in the sports centre, which was tough. So we're like, can we leave it in here? Can we leave our kit in here? And they were like, no, because we won't be able to find the change room again.
I would really love to just play for like 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks in England, just to get the hang of it. It sounds like such a shit show. It's actually fun.
Every away game is just an enjoyment.
You turn up every single training and game just with this puzzled look on your face, like, wait, this is it? And you'd be like, yeah.
This is
And
it.
you'd be like, no.
But you guys decide to spend money on things which are like so funny to me. Like you don't have shit to buy a camera, but you do have like 5 kids a team. Like how is that possible?
Phil, that is a big thing. Your club has got 4 lovely kits, but you've arguably got the worst setup in the league.
No, I disagree with that. That's not true, is it?
No, and the thing is with OGs is they spend so much money on their players that I get that they don't have any money left for other things.
There you go.
Phil,
Okay, let's get that out of the way.
It's not a good setup, though, is it? Come on, let's be honest.
What do you mean it's not a good setup? I don't understand.
Can we please go to next question and don't talk about like the setup and if you have a good webcam on your
Yeah,
club?
okay. Okay, quick fire then. Who's winning the Dutch league this year?
Bloomendal.
Oranje rood.
Oh, he knows that's a lie.
Yeah, Bloomendal. Come on. Who's winning the English league?
Oh, geez.
Surbiton.
Oh, geez. Come on. Why did all of the GB girls go to Australia?
They wanted a break.
Yeah,
Money.
Probably not money. I think that I'm guessing that going to the Southern Hemisphere to play in a hockey tournament for 2 months in Australia is pretty enticing, but we can't talk for them.
Or play in England where it's pretty dark and miserable for 2 months.
I also don't really get the point of asking us this question, as in like none of us are female British players. Like Brendan's pretty close to it, but like how should we know?
Also, the next few are a bit silly, but we'll try them anyway. Hockey fights to be allowed, like in ice hockey, to resolve on-field disputes.
No, it's stupid. It's no point. No one's going to do anything. They're just going to look at each other. They won't even fight. You've said this before. No one's willing to back it up. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, can you also imagine? You know, when ice hockey players like get their gloves off, and it's really easy. It'd take hockey play. It'd be the most pathetic thing ever. A hockey player taking their glove off.
Waste of time.
Yeah, fair enough. And the next one also, I'm not sure what you want. It's ROTY hockey. Hockey salaries and how players make money through stick, shoe deals, and salaries from national team. Well, I think he's answered his own question.
I don't even think. Yeah, that's a statement.
Hockey salaries and how players make money. Well, I'll talk very personally. You get paid from your sponsor, your club, and your national team. And if you're lucky enough, you get a shoe deal or you do some appearances. Or if you become a model. You know, all of them.
We need to talk about this. You're close to an unfollow, Yoop.
I don't give a shit if you follow me, Brendan. Please unfollow me.
You do.
Please unfollow me, Brendan.
No, you actually do care because you know you don't want to be that guy.
What did I do wrong?
Stop posting pictures about modeling. Create a separate account.
I've posted one picture of me being absolutely gorgeous, and you're hating on it.
You did pin it though, as well.
Yeah, because it's the one picture I look absolutely gorgeous in.
Have you pinned it?
Yeah.
Oh, that is not okay.
Why can't I pin it?
No, that is not. Oh, you. Oh no.
If I'm honest,
pinning it.
I really like. First of all, it shows how Dutch culture is so different to English culture, because when you post it, I was like, right. First of all, my breakdown of it is the first 2 photos I've really enjoyed. The third photo I really hated. I don't know why. I'll just give you my opinion. But the second thing is how much love you get for posting something like that. I really enjoy. Like, there's so much like, oh, good for you. He did some modelling. I know for a fact that if anyone in England, in the English team, did a modelling thing and posted it, the shit they would get would be absolutely unbridled.
Because you're a fucking ugly country.
That's been episode 6 of Let's Stick Together.
No one is pretty enough to be on the camera. No. You guys are just a bit bigots. That's an English word, right? Very small-minded. You don't appreciate getting out of your comfort zone and do some modeling on the side. It's, to be honest, it's not really modeling. I was just there was an interview and I had to take pictures, and I thought, oh, I actually look quite decent in these pictures.
Hold on. So
very self-aware. Shut up, Brendan. I was very self-aware. I was very like, should I post it? Should I post it? And then I thought, fuck it, why not?
So my question to you, Yoop, is you've not been told to post that. You've actively chosen to post those pictures of yourself. Again,
as I said, I thought I looked pretty and I posted it.
I really do back it though, Yoop. I kind of wish I I did that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Saying that, I've tasted a modelling career. I did some naked modelling a while ago. I did.
Yeah. Who are you to talk? I forgot about that. Who are you to talk? You posted fucking with your cock out.
Should we put it to the fans? Which one they prefer?
Mate, okay. I'm not going to defend myself, by the way. I thought I looked really, really good.
Yeah, I'm not denying that.
Brendan only asked a question. You got a bit defensive.
You have got very defensive.
Yeah, I've got a very defensive. Do you know how many pictures I see of myself now again in this time of year? Like there was Anne Venen that was taking pictures of our game. How many pictures I look absolutely horrible with pale skin and ginger hair. And I was like, oh, I really can't post this. Like, you know how many times I look at myself and think, Jesus Christ, I actually start to believe I am a ginger. Now this picture, I was like, you know what, you actually look decent in these. So I put them out there. But you know what? Next time I'll put another ginger picture of myself on the Instagram again. Happy Brendan.
Just black and white photos, mate. They're your best friends when you're gingers, aren't
they? With like my mouth guard in and like with like shit drizzling down by and like looking really angry and shit. I'll post those again.
I think, to be honest with you, none of us have a leg to stand on when we're giving you this, because Brendan, you've posted horribly vain photos of you on a bike in lockdown. I think if we were to do this, it's
would really be you on your stick. Like, who are you to talk?
I think, we've all done our fair share.
All I've said is, let's put it to a fan's vote, which one they prefer. That's all I've said.
Fair. I'm sorry I got defensive, Brendan. You're absolutely right for giving me shit. Just when you give shit, you also got to accept the repercussions of it.
Hey, and I accept them.
So we've comprehensively answered that question from about hockey salaries. Yeah. Have you guys got anything to add about hockey salaries?
No.
You answered the question yourself, Phil. You did a good job.
Thanks. Jordan Smith, again, I don't know why we get asked these questions, but who do you reckon is behind the England Hockey Memes account, Twitter account?
Don't know the account.
Oh, you'd love that account. It's a really good one. I'll send it you afterwards.
Okay, send it. I don't know.
I genuinely don't know. I can't work it out at all. It's someone who has a deep hatred for England hockey, though.
George Pinner, but I don't think he's clever enough to do that account, so we'll go with George Pinner. Last two questions. Y1, one of the Y1 Black Friday 6 Project Blanc 2. Is it too much bow and concaveness? Now, I haven't seen this stick, and I don't think the other two have, but if Tom Carson had anything to do with designing it, I'm going to go with yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you congrats on your new contract signing.
Yeah, thank you. Like it was 99% based around the podcast. I really wanted to leave, but I thought I can't leave you too, so that's why I stayed.
Sorry, again, some context is that Youps just signed a new deal with Y1. He did it very professionally, more professionally than anyone's ever done it. It looks really nice. Don't know why you've got to be so sassy about that, though. You just happy to sign.
How is that sassy? I just said I'm signing because of you two. How is that sassy?
Signing for the cash. Signing for the cash.
Of the great support Y1 has given me over the last couple of years. What an amazing brand. I love Chris.
That 6,000 support. Yeah, nice.
Thank you. 6,000. You think, oh, you have so much to learn, brother.
I wasn't even close to that number.
You think so? Oh, so cute. No, but
he's an Olympic gold medalist, and he's a top 5 player in the world and a model. He's worth more than 6K.
I'm really, really appreciative of Y1. And that's why I signed for another 4 years. I love him.
2 free sticks.
He's also a part of Y1. Antoine Quina. Yeah, so I play with a Y1 stick. Or he lost his stick and borrowed someone else's. Could also very well be, but I saw him play with a Y1 stick. So that was kind of cool to see.
Nice. I mean, there is more and more top quality players knocking about in Europe with Y1, so it's very nice to see. And last question. Mistakes you made as less experienced players in training or mentality?
Again?
I can answer for Brendan if you want. But
No, I don't know the question. I don't understand the question. What's the question?
What mistakes did you make when you were less experienced, either in training or like your mentality going into games? I'm guessing.
You get scared after miss chucking 2 aerials. That's
I still get like insecure about my aerial when I miss 2 in a row. But yeah, who wouldn't?
Agreed.
I always, when I was younger, I always thought things would come by themselves. And then I learned after a couple of years, you actually have to work for shit to happen.
I
opposite.
learned that I was trying to be someone else rather than focusing on myself, like trying to be the player that I thought people wanted me to be rather than just being me. So I tried to be more myself.
That's what Brendan also thought. That's why he put it on the stick, right?
I kept getting confused.
You're not Phil Roper. You're not.
Mine was that I probably worried so much about doing it right that I didn't focus on the next job, and that probably impacted a lot of what I did. So I used to get really down even if I played well.
Nice. I mean, this was, I think, absolute classical Let's Stick Together all in one go. We've had an episode of seriousness turned into absolute carnage, and I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. We don't have time for the coop. Brendan's a busy man. We've tracked him down. Youp's not happy. Do you want to do a quick coop, Youp?
Yeah, I could do a really quick one. If you could ask, if you could ask one question to any hockey player of your choosing, and he has to be he has to answer truthfully, what would you ask to which player?
I'd ask Tom Craig, was it worth it?
Oh, Jesus. Okay. I would. What would you do, Phil?
Yeah, I'm struggling. Can you give me a second?
I can give you a second. We can just cut it out. Right, Theo?
Theo doesn't answer.
Oh.
It was not here.
Have you got a question that you'd like to ask someone?
I would ask I would ask Harmanpreet how he feels about the Hockey Star Awards. Like, what is it like for the Indian players, and especially Harmanpreet, who like really honestly deserved it this year, to still feel, even though he deserved it, people feel it's undeservedly. So I would ask that.
That's a good question. I'd actually change mine. I want to ask the FIH president what his actual plan is for getting the sport more mainstream. Like, what is the action plan to actually make the game more visible to everyone and kind of push it towards where netball, rugby, those kind of sports are?
Yeah, for everyone listening, like, the FIH president is a really good hockey player as well. So that's why Brandon is allowed to ask that hockey player one question he has to answer truthfully.
Have you not seen him play? He's a wizard. Fine, I'll go with my original question.
Yeah, I would also ask Donald Trump what his statements were, regarding the politics. He also played hockey on the weekend, so.
Yeah, I'd just ask all Australians what their problem is.
We really need Simon Orchard on this podcast, so you can ask him. I think it's just something deep down that they don't like you fellas there. Like,
yeah, I was just desperately trying to think of a question.
You guys are a little bit vain over there in England. Coming from a Dutch guy says a lot, I know. Like, you organize your own little tournament, your own little Olympics with all your friends. Like, it's
But they're part of that.
They're invited and they beat us.
I know they're invited, but you're the one organizing it. They just don't want to be rude by not coming. That's what she said.
On that note.
Right. We've got to end. We tried to make this episode short and we failed fantastically well.
Probably one of our longest ones.
Thoroughly enjoyed,
as well.
enjoyable episode. I'm glad we've been able to get back into a chat together. And Brendan, probation starts now. You, I guess, is going to be judging whether you stay or go.
No, he'll stay. I'm on your side, Brendan. I really want you to stay. It's not in my hands, but I really want you to stay.
Yeah, I'm just going to puppet master my way out of this podcast. Right. Okay. We've been Let's Stick Together. We'll see you next time. And good luck in your games, Joop. Score some goals.
Thank you, Philip. Bye, everyone.
Brendan, you got to press stop, mate.